Again, well played by both coaches. We're going to get into our third and final game here. Whoops. And we're on turn 2 of this final game of the evening. And this game is the Gutterballz versus MAML Nightmare, El Nubarino versus Festoon. We've got Orcs versus Necro. Failed rush. If you're new to the game of Blood Bowl, rushes fail 900% of the time. That's just math. That's facts. That's facts. That's the rules. I don't make the rules. Blitz on Slog the Rotting, number 4 zombie. Down pitch, breaks armor. Yeah. I don't know why you thought a pumpkin was going to protect your head. Oh, failed the regen roll too. That stings. Does it sting? Really? You're dead. I don't think you feel anything, really. Good removal here. One-man player advantage for the Gutterballz. So this is also a Division Division A matchup here. El Nubarino looking for their first win this evening, as is Festoon here. Both teams looking for their first win. If they get it, they could advance all the way up into 4th place here in Week 4. Remember, the top 2 teams of each division make the cut to the top 8, and then the 2 best teams besides will make the cut as well. Ball in the hands of the number 6 Ghoul Runner, Zorath Flesh Render. It sounds like a tool, like a plugin you buy for 3D Studio Max or something. Turn 3 now for MAML Nightmare. So the Necro team. So we've seen an Orc team earlier this evening. We talked about them a bit with Tis a Business team. This Necro team, pretty good out of the gate here, right? You've got the Flesh Golems. They have a Strength 4 and Stand Firm. Stand Firm means if they get pushed away, they don't actually have to be pushed away. They can stay right where they are. So, for example, on the push here, this, yep. Oh, this is the wrong way. But yes, the Flesh Golem can stay right where they are if they're blocked. These werewolves are very, very good. MA8, they have Claw and Frenzy. Claw, here's the knockdown on the Frenzy. Claw means they're going to treat the AV here as an 8+ instead of a 10+. Got the armor break. Very important piece on the roster. The other important piece are these Ghoul Runners. These are your only real ball carriers on this roster. You have the Ghouls, and you have the Werewolves. They have your speed, they have your agility. Nobody else is really an effective ball carrier. You have the Flesh Golems, right, with Edge 4+. They're very slow with an enemy of 4. You have the Zombos, Edge 4+, very slow with an enemy of 4. And you have the Wraiths that are decent pieces, but they have no hands, so they can't carry the ball. These Wraiths are very, very annoying. These are your blitzers. They have the block skill, they're MA6, strength of 3, but they also have sidestep, which means if they get pushed, they don't have to be pushed backwards. They can go into any adjacent space, and it's Festoon who decides where they go. And they also have foul appearance, which means if you try to block down one of these Wraiths, you have to roll a d6. On a 1, it fails, and you lose your block, or worse, your blitz. Very, very obnoxious pieces. Ball in the left wide zone here. 2-die block over on the right side of the line. Gets a push against Lowen, the number 2 zombie lineman. The other thing the Necro team is very good for, of course, is regen. Regen across the board on the Necro team, except for the Ghouls. The Ghouls are the weakest piece on the team with the AV of 8+, or the most fragile, I should say. They do not have regen. Everyone else does. 2-die block over in the left wide zone by Mortis, or against Mortis the Mangled. And there's that Stand Firm skill that we talked about. All the skills in Blood Bowl, unless they say otherwise, are optional. So Festoon could have chosen not to invoke Stand Firm and then would have been pushed back. Sometimes that's useful. An example of a non-optional skill would be Frenzy. Frenzy requires you to follow up. And that is very true, right? So if that follow-up would be a rush, you must follow up, and that means you must roll the rush die. Two-die blitz in the left wide zone. Gets a pow against Stitch Jaw Brain Snatcher. Good armor break. Gets a stun. So just the one-man player advantage, it looks like, for the Gutterballz. It's so hard for me to say dog Gutterballz. It's a mark on the ball carrier with Tara Reid. Everyone's favorite goblin. Are those two differently colored dodge skills? Do you see that? Oh no. I see the red tint. I see. Turn 4 for MAML Nightmare. So this Necro team probably going to play a little more edge, but those flesh columns really are very, very useful. You can use them as anchors on your roster. Right? You have a flesh column, and he can stand right where he is, and you can set up your formation around that player. Wraith Blitz on Tara Reid. Double skulls. Gonna spend a reroll here. Gets a dodge push out of it. Tara Reid's gonna stay on her feet. On the left wide zone. On MAML Nightmare's own 6-yard line. 48 seconds left to go. I want like a cheesesteak sandwich. That would be awesome. Passes the ball forward to the 2. Now the 2-die block on the right side against Jeffrey Lebowski. It's a knockdown here. Werewolf covers the rear of the ball carrier. Turn 4 for the Gutterballz. Final turn of the first quarter. El Nubarino, a contemplative coach, likes to calculate his turn before executing on it at the end of the turn. We get 13 left. Easy, be careful of the speed disadvantage. Doesn't want to get spread too thin. Trying to look for a way on the ball right now. Dodges Tara Reid out around the left wide zone. Gets a mark on Dragon Redclaw. That's the #1 werewolf. The only werewolf on the pitch. The werewolf and the ghoul. Again, watch for these players. Probably the most important pieces in this particular lineup. 2-die blitz on the werewolf. Gets the knockdown. Looking for a 9+. There it is. Can he get a removal? It'll be huge. Gets a stun out of it. Stuns the werewolf. Takes a mark on the ball carrier. 15 seconds left on the clock. Pulls in an assist against Brack the Bludgeoner. Gets a pow out of this. Needs a big 10+ to break armor here. Two-die block on the left wide zone against Mortis the Mangle. It's a knockdown as well. Knocking down these flesh golems is big, right? Even on the lineman is big, and that's because they're so slow and it costs 3 MA to stand up. That leaves them with just 1 MA to move. You can see El Nubarino repositioning players so that there's a mark here, there's a mark here. This flesh column, anywhere he goes, that's it's a -1 dodge. Doesn't want to dodge anyway. He's not particularly dodgy. But that just sort of seals the deal and keeps this Flesh Golem from really getting away and getting back into this drive. Second quarter begins. MAML Nightmare with one reroll left for the half are on their own 2-yard line. Currently marked by a pair of orcs. Ajax the Riot with the raid. Thank you so very much. Welcome to the stream. Congratulations on your victory. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Welcome, Raiders. My Chicken Chaser, welcome to the stream. We're in our final game of tonight's triple header. Thank you very, very much. Hey, hey. Well played game earlier. Well played. Blitz on Tara Reid. 2-die blitz. Gets the knockdown thanks to the block skill. 8+ breaks armor, but you can't. Tara Reid is unbreakable, unshakable. A minute to go here in turn 5. One die by, and I probably shouldn't say this in the stream, but I'm going to. Not that it's bad; it's actually good. But so I saw. You know, obviously, we all saw the game, and we talked about how Connor's new to the game. But I also saw the conversation in Discord, and you know, Ajax and Connor, absolute like sportsmen. Like this is what we were talking about earlier. Like, man, I love this so much. Like, Connor came out brand new to the game of Blood Bowl and doesn't get discouraged. I'm sure, you know, nobody likes to lose, of course, but like, it's just a fantastic sportsman, and gets back up next week and goes at it again. And I'm telling you, man, like, watching these games and watching a brand new player get better and better week after week is going to be so awesome. It's going to be so much fun to watch, especially in a game that's been around for so long, like Blood Bowl, right? It often feels like, you know, the same people have played it over and over again, but that's not true. And this right here is like, we're watching it. It's so great, and I have so much respect for Connor and Ajax and everybody in the league. Anybody who gets up and just plays, right? You get up, you play. You are part of the family, and it's, and you know, we all we've all been there. We will all lose again, and it's just a lot of fun. I love, yeah, it's gonna be so fun. I love watching new players. That was one of my favorite things in the FGC. It was just watching new players come in and just get better month after month, year after year. Yeah, it's just one of my favorite things about gaming in general. So, big ups, kudos to both of you guys. Going for the surf here. Oh! Got the knockdown, didn't get the surf. That is the one face that, well, other than the skull, of course, that would not surf the ghoul. The ghoul's going to stay on the pitch. Ball goes out of bounds and gets thrown back in on the opposing 20, or on the Gutterballz own 20-yard line. Festoon says, "Just look at me getting crushed by orcs." yeah. I wouldn't say you're getting crushed, but I think you're doing great. But yeah. Well, I feel the timing on that was just terrible. Here, let me try that again. Yeah, no, you're doing pretty good. I think you're doing. Oh. Lost the flesh column to the injury. That's two SPP for Maud Lebowski. Two-die block on Grand Tier Terror Ajax's crew. The Organing will continue until morale improves. Turn 6 for MAML Nightmare. Sit up blitzed by the werewolf, gets a push. Frenzy follow-up here. The 2-die follow-up gets a POW out of this. 8+ will break armor, doesn't get the armor break. At least I didn't write on the screen. Could have been worse. Yeah, could have been. Get knocked down by Rex, the Devourer. Both down on Tara Reid. That'll be a turnover. Turn 6 back to the Gutterballz. Well, as an aside, so we when we started the league, we put a lot of time into kind of figuring out the right way the way we wanted to do the league. We had a number of goals, one of which is we didn't want this to be a chore, and so but we still wanted to reward good performance. So one of the things you can do, like you're only locked in, so to speak, with your team for one competition, right? So, like maybe something like imagine you're a Wood Elf team, and you just get slaughtered in the Chaos Cup, and you're in a death spiral. In the Spike Magazine Trophy, in the second competition of the season, you could just play a new team, and see how that goes. Play a different faction, or even just a brand new Wood Elf team, whatever. And in fact, you can even do it the other way. We've had coaches do the other thing, right? Like, what are you trying to say about my team? Nothing. We've had coaches who did really well with a team early in the season, and they said, you know what? I don't want to really bloat my team. I don't want my team to get injured. I'm going to play a different team in the Chaos Cup. I'm sorry, the Spike Magazine Trophy. And then maybe I come back to that team in the Dungeon Bowl, or maybe I don't, because I've already qualified for the Blood Bowl with that first team, and I can just see if I could get a different team that's maybe better or something. So you have options. And if maybe a competition doesn't go your way, you can either keep with that team and build it up over the course of the 3 open competitions, or you can just roll a new team. Stand firm against Brack the Bludgeoner. The Gutterballz slowly going back to pick that ball up. They can score, but they have to move each turn. Book. They need to move each turn. Turn 7 now for the MAML Nightmare. MAML Nightmare might just try to stop this score here. Or if they can maybe get a lucky blitz. I don't want to say lucky. If they can get a good blitz off the blitzer, maybe they can actually recover and get on the board. Good-eye block against Grom. Gets a POW out of this. Grom, the journeyman. Gets an assist. Takes a mark on number 1, Maud Lebowski. Julianne Moore. One die against Jeffrey Lebowski. Gets the knockdown here. This is Rex the Devourer on the block. Breaks armor. Only gets a stun out of it. Block in the left wide zone. Gets a POW. Gets a POW against the Goblin. Only gets a stun. Wow. On the blitz, gets to reposition. Moves in on the assist against number 1. Good action order here by Festoon. Gets a POW now. This is a skill. This is a skill you need to develop in the Blood Bowl. You saw Festoon Took the blitz, got that block, right, and then repositioned the blitzer to get an assist for another block. Chaining these blocks together so that you're guaranteeing your 2-die blocks or maybe even your 3-die blocks is a skill you have to learn in the game. SB Beaver says, a chainsaw is a secret weapon, but a scythe isn't? Where's the line? What are you talking about? What's wrong with this? What is... Tell me one thing that's wrong with this. What about that? What about that, huh? What's wrong with that? What, are you telling me you can't have an anchor on your hand? That's not the Blood Bowl I grew up with. One dive block in the left wide zone gets a push. Suddenly we can't hit each other in the head with anchors. Sheesh. .54 seconds to go here in turn 7. The Gutterballz have to end this turn in scoring position, which means it's more than likely going to be the dude himself, Jeff Bridges, who will be the scoring threat for the Gutterballz. They will be on offense to start the second half of the game, but they love to go up on the scoreboard 1-0. Good armor break. Gets a KO. We'll see if that sticks for the second half. 3-man player advantage for the Gutterballz. Rot Gut Mix Smash going to be pushed aside. Do you think as a zombie, are you happy to be back in the world of the living, or are you annoyed? I'm not sure. Going for the pass to Jeff Bridges. Oh boy. Good pass. Good catch on the reroll. Well done. Well done, Jeff Bridges. There he goes. The rare orc pass. If only they had a brain. The real science said if orcs can wear fridges and sit on heads, then the bed sheet could have a scythe. Spires a nice elfing. Yeah. Very nice elfing, orcs. Good armor break by the werewolf. Doesn't get any Kaz out of it. Orc passing is OP. PA of 4+, get out of town. Get out of town, John Turturro. Or the lesser known elf race. One dive block against John Turturro. Is only going to be a push. Philip Seymour Hoffman is going to be knocked down here. 10+ breaks armor by the journeyman. There's the armor break. It's only a stun. The Gutterballz on turn 8. They have one reroll left. Will they take some blocks? Nope. They're just going to score 1-0. There it is. Well done by Aldo Marino to get on the board here in the first half. The Gutterballz will be on offense to start the second half of this game. They're in the lead. They just need to hold on to this ball. They're almost certainly going to cage this ball up and punch their way down pitch. We'll see if this Necro team has an answer to that in the second half of this game. 2 rerolls for each coach. One of those flesh columns taken off the pitch, as well as a zombie. So it looks to be a 2-man player advantage for the Gutterballz. Got the team giving up these wide zones, but that's okay because they have the speed advantage. If the Orcs want to funnel into the wide zone, I think the Necro team's going to be A-okay with that. Orcs to set up their offense now. 3 on the defensive line. They're going to try to block down this entire line. Wow, that is a lot of... Oh, I thought that was a journeyman. I was like, that's a lot of journeymen. No, it's only one. 2 of the Bingham blockers on the ends in the tackle position here. We've got Grom, the left guard, and Jeffrey Lebowski, the center. 2 back to receive currently. I can't imagine the Biggins are going to be back to receive. Now 4 on the line, strong on the left side. Doing the right wide zone. 4 blitzers against this Necro team is tough for the Necro team to deal with. But they do have that frenzy piece. Spire says the Gutterballz may be out of bonus clock by turn 12. Yeah, they're down to 2 minutes 46 seconds. Here's the kick. No kicker for the Necro team. We probably won't see a kicker until late in the competition, maybe even not until the Spike Magazine trophy. But it's not a skill to sleep on, I think, depending on the team that you're playing. Decent kick. And now, we're in. The pouring rain. So this is a -1 to all the catchy stuff. -1 to catches, -1 to ball pickups, and a -1 to interception rolls. So this is going to be a 50-50 pickup now. This might be an opportunity for this Necro team to apply some pressure. It's going to depend on what the offense does here and what the state of the board will be after the Gutterballz turn 9. Knockdown on the left side of the defensive line. Push on the right. Pow on Rock Gutnick smash. The line blocked down now, still has a blitz on the table. Took the blocks before pulling anybody back to cover the ball. Might try to get this ball forward. But don't count out this werewolf. MA8 is very fast, the Ghoul MA7 as well. You know, rain on granite, this is probably really slippery. Rain on brick. Yeah, 50-50 pickup fails. Probably doesn't re-roll this, but if he doesn't re-roll it, I think we might see some pressure from the defensive secondary here. We'll see. The ball's going to scatter in a favorable position for the Orcs. I think turn 9 for MAML Nightmare. It's going to be tricky. They're down a couple of players. There is a wide contingent here on the offensive line in this sort of arrow formation. Taking a mark on the left side. It looks like he is going to try to secure the left wides. Ooh, failed the rush. Failed the rush. Spends a reroll into a 2-die blitz. Gets a push out of this. We'll follow up. MAML Nightmare down to 1 reroll. Here comes that werewolf. Yep. Here comes the werewolf. Starting to pressure this ball. Turn 10 for the Gutterballz. This is a 50-50 pickup. Tara Reid to take a mark on the werewolf. Seconds left in the turn. 2 minutes 40 seconds left on the bonus clock for the Gutterballz. With all 3 rerolls. They need to keep this ball safe. 2-die block against the number 15 lineman. Gets a knockdown here. Every block a scary proposition. under a minute in the turn. Takes a mark for the assist. 2-die against Brack the Bludgeoner. This could free up a player for the blitz on the Werewolf. Let's go pull back Steve Buscemi. Play some semblance of protection on the ball carrier. Ball's going to try to move up here. Try to move up here. 50-50 pickup fails. We'll have to spend the reroll here. Spent the reroll. Failed the reroll. Turn 10 for MAML Nightmare. The weather turned rainy, and this is a problem for this Orc team. El Nubarino should have checked the weather report. Knockdown on the center, Jeffrey Lebowski. 2-die block by the Werewolf. Didn't declare it as a blitz. Gets a stun. Double skulls against Grom. Spent the reroll here. I was going to say probably leaves that alone, but spent the reroll on the Journeyman. Failed the loner roll, and that's double skulls. It's going to be a turnover. No rerolls left for MAML Nightmare. So Journeymen are your standard, the standard linemen for your team. If you can't field 11 players, you must pick up a Journeyman. And if you do, they're your standard linemen, but they come with the loner nega trait, which means if you want to spend a team reroll with that, you got to roll a d6 first. On a 4+ you can. Otherwise, you spend the reroll and don't get to use it. The student says I'm embarrassing myself. No, you're not. You know what? I promise you. I promise you. I've embarrassed myself an order of magnitude. Like you're fine. Here's the blitz with the Wolf. Good knockdown on the ball carrier. Now the 4+ pickup doesn't work out. Again, rainy weather, 50-50 pickup. Turn 12 now for the Gutterballz. Yeah, just speaking of the FGC, I just watched a video on, by a guy named Gerald. He's a very, very smart guy. Makes great videos. His latest one is on how to reduce salt, and it was really good. And basically, just kind of goes into psychology a little bit, and it is exactly. But really, like what Electric Man's just said. I had 6 straight failures to pick up the ball. Like it is very there are lots of things we do to tell ourselves we're like bad, but we're wrong. like it's very easy to say, oh yes, this I did bad today, and that it was so much worse than everyone else, but it is just not true. It's not true. We've all been there. We all feel it, but I'm telling you, You're fine. 6! He says 6! Good pickup by Steve Buscemi. All right, Gutterballz fighting for this ball here. That pressure was applied by this Necro team, and I think that was the right call. At least I would have done that. Just couldn't get anything out of it. Now the Werewolf is stunned, and now Cage set up with this Orc player. Festoon says, "Oh, between this and my game against Orcs, I'm playing very bad. My team going in the cycle of my key players and probably cut my network pretty good." Well, I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. I think you're doing fine. You know, I mean, I know that's a little comfort, but I think you're doing fine. And if this team does go into a death spiral, you can always roll a new one in the next competition. But you know, I don't want to pressure you or anything, but I think you're doing perfectly fine. Final turn of the third quarter here. Two-die block against Grom. Gets a knockdown here. Breaks armor. Got the KO. There it is. There it is. One-man player advantage now for the Orc team. Tizzle Bizzle rooting for this offense. Rooting for a fellow Orc team. Under a minute to go here for MAML Nightmare. That's it. Final quarter begins. The Gutterballz are in possession of the ball. They're in the lead 1-0. They're not out of the woods yet. Still very much anyone's ball game, but ball is well protected at this point and has two of the big end blockers on the front, two blitzers on the back. Strength 4 on the front, block skill on the back. Okay, he's going to move into the right wide zone. Looks like it's going to move up to the Gutterballz zone 8-yard line here. Indeed it is. On the 8, just inside the right wide zone. Now moving the blitzers to either corner, on the front left corner and the back right corner, the big end blockers on the opposite corners. Probably smells like a wet dog. His teammates don't like him. He should get foul odor as a skill in the rain. Two-die blitz here. Gets a pile against the Wraith. Wrecks the Devourer. Just clearing out the left side of this cage. Knocking down players. Trying to keep them from being a problem on this upcoming turn. Very good play here by El Nubarino. Pellegrino, a seasoned coach. Often finishes highly in a competition. El Nubarino back on the bonus clock. Just 2 minutes, 35 seconds left on the clock. Failed dodge by John Goodman will be a turnover. Turn 13 back to MAML Nightmare. Two-die block against Philip Seymour Hoffman. Gets the knockdown thanks to the block skill. No armor break here. Frees up a zombie player to get down pitch. Good movement with the zombie player to get the assist. It's number 4 for the two-die. Unfortunately, it's going to be a turnover. Oh, the trade worked. The trade worked out though. Wow. AV 9+ on the zombie, 10+ on the orc. That's a removed orc, so 9v9 now on the pitch. Oh, that's not the replay. Boo. Boo. Again, especially this early in the season, we talk about how this Necro team only has the 2 effective ball carriers. The calculus on your strategy can be real tricky, right? Going after the school runner Gets a push out of it into another block coming up here. But do you play to try to draw the game, or do you play to try to keep your players safe at this point? It's always a tricky decision to try to suss out as the game goes on. Oh, look at him! He's taunting the orcs. Zorath Flesh Render on the taunt, moving the ball forward a couple of spaces to the Gutterballz 2-yard line. Decides not to fill in the right corner. Doesn't have anybody that can get there. 2-die block against the blue runner is going to be a POW. An 8+ breaks armor here. 8+ fragile. There's the armor break. And that's a KO. You know what? That might be okay. Player taken off the pitch, but he's not going to be injured at least. Not this drive. Turn 14 for MAML Nightmare. Two-die block against number 2 over in the left wide zone. Gets the knockdown. This is that flesh column. Trying to get some SPP. Two-die block on Jeffrey Lebowski with a push. Rotgut McSmash on the block here. Problem now for this defense is that they, again, we talked about this earlier in the game. These two players, these are the key pieces. This werewolf and this ghoul. The ghoul's safe now, but is off the pitch. So the only player with speed is this werewolf. And the werewolf is way out of the drive right now. So the werewolf's going to have to get up, dodge, and try to get back in this drive to try to stop the score. That means the engagement's going to be way down pitch. Probably with not a whole lot of allies on the defense here. Everybody else is very, very slow. MA4 across the board. Turn 15 for the Gutterballz. No rerolls remaining. They're in possession of the ball. They are in the lead as well. The defense desperately trying to stop this offense. Maybe even trying to reclaim this ball. It's such a difficult decision, right? When you're down, when you only have 2 ball carriers, and that is just the case with an early Necro team. You can't afford everybody. And then you lose one. You're down with 1. It's late in the game. Is this going to be the guy who scores, or is this going to be the guy who runs back to play defense? It's so difficult. Ball's going to move well forward to the opposing 14-yard line. 12-yard line, excuse me. Right off the right sideline. In the case of this particular setup, the werewolf has to get into the play because none of the zombies can actually pass the ball. Two-die block on Grant Tier. Ajax Screw gets a foul here. Breaks armor. Stun means that lineman's effectively out for the rest of the game. Two-line block against the Wraith. Gets a POW out of this. Oh no! Big removal of the Wraith. No permanent injury, but they'll be out next game. Oh wait, will they be out next game? Nope. They'll be back next game. So that's okay. But that's 2 SPP for the Orc team. Turn 15 now for MAML Nightmare. Just looking to pick up some SPP. There's the assist for the Werewolf. Gets the knockdown, looking for an 8+, but doesn't get it. Two-die block against John Turturro. Gets a push. Turn 16 for the Gutterballz. No rerolls left. I think they might just try to walk the ball in. It's one rush to score. That'll get 3 SPP on Steve Buscemi. Deciding how this final turn of their game will be. There'll be one more turn left in the game. Turn 16 for the MAML Nightmare. It'll be their opportunity to gain some SVP. If there's a timeout, they could even score. Taking blocks with no rerolls gets the cow out of this. Here's the score tap. One rush will do it. There it is. 2-0 the score. Very well done by El Marino. One turn left in this ball game. The Gutterballz are going to win it, but by how much is the question. We'll see if there is a timeout or not. The Gutterballz are going to screen out the end zone. With 3 on the line, I imagine Tara Reid will not be one of those. Maybe Tara Reid will. She's inexpensive. Sorry, Tara Reid, but you are. So not screening out the end zone. Putting 3 players behind, just in case there's a timeout, I suppose. Turn 16 for MAML Nightmare. They'll block down the line. Try to pick up some SPP on the line here. And then maybe try to throw this ball for another point of SPP. They're putting the Wolf on the line. If the Wolf's on the line, the Wolf will not be passing. So looking for the 2 SPP on the Cavs with the Wolf. Probably smarter. Didn't get back to goal. Gonna try to pick up an SPP on the goal instead. Here's the kick. Boy, it's going to be sad if it's the weather clears up just in time for the game to end. Turn 16 for MAML Nightmare. They've got 3 blocks on the line to take. Maybe even a GG foul. 2-die block against Tara Reid. Gets the knockdown here. Breaks armor. There's the 2 SPP. Very well done. Very well done. This game's not over. 2 more SPP on the Flesh Golem. And now the 2-die block against Rom. Both down result, gets nothing out of it. 2-0 the final. Very well played by both coaches. Tough matchup against this Orc team. Orcs are strong. Lots of teams are strong. Oh, I don't even have the standings up. Let's do that. There we go. With that win, the Gutterballz are going to advance into 4th place, tied with Malik's Lizard Wizard Giz Fest. Very well played by El Marino. Good play by both coaches. That was a tough matchup. A lot of fun to watch. I liked all 3 games tonight. They were really, really fun. And we've got more to come. Let's take a look at the schedule before we leave for the evening. Coming up next here in week 4 of 9 in the Chaos Cup before the cut to top 8. And then we've got 2 more open competitions and an invitational. Beyond that, lots of Blood Bowl left here in season 5. This week, we've got another triple header this Thursday coming up. This Thursday, March 6th, starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's UTC -5. We'll get the evening started with the Goodest Boys Strike Back versus As Bad As Raiders. Old Gamer Mike versus Electrics Man. That will be, I don't know what that will be. Let me look this up. That will be Necro versus Undead. That is, oh, it's the Thriller Cup. Immediately following that game, scheduled for 8:30 p.m. EST, we've got the Dinner Bell Darlings versus Nerdrum's Nose Count, Doug the Minotaur versus War Horseman, Dwarfs versus Norse, and then we're going to end the evening with the third game, scheduled at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll be Philosopher's Song versus Conspicuous Disunion, Spire versus Chime. That will be Lizardmen versus Necro. So those will all be fun games. This Sunday, we have a doubleheader starting at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'll start with the Wooden Men and Iron Trees versus Vesuvian Lavabacks, S-Beaver versus Berserker Tempest, Wood Elves versus Lizardmen. And then we've got League Champion Nick Satan versus Ian to finish that evening. The Dream and Wish Foundation versus the Discomancers. That will be Halflings versus Necro. 2 more games left to be scheduled here in week 4. And oh, thank you very much, Azek. I appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out and watching. This Bloodball's great. When those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on our website at maml.club. That's maml.clb. Boy, it is not that. Let me try that one more time. That's maml.club. MAML.CLUB here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky X and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game is so much fun. And you know what? You might even be able, if you play Blood Bowl in our league, you might have a chance to kill Kevin Bacon. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store until Thursday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, that's UTC -5. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening.